When you come to school in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on if you are AM or PM, you will come through the main entrance. You will have your temperature taken and your hands sanitized. And the most important thing to remember is that you wear your mask. Make sure that your mask is on at all times. You will proceed into the building to grab your breakfast or your lunch and then walk to your classroom. We will not be using lockers, so you will walk directly to your classroom. Bring your backpacks with you. Keep them next to your desk. Make sure all cell phones are on silent and in your bag. Stay in your assigned seat and designated spot after you enter the room. There will be no walking around. Only take out the materials necessary for that class.
For breakfast and lunch, we need to make sure we clean up all trash and messes. Grab your breakfast or lunch as you enter the building before reporting to your classroom. This will be located somewhere near our front doors. It should be very easy for you to just grab it and go. Make sure we're not congregating. You can take off your mask to eat, but you have to put it on as soon as you are done eating. Breakfast needs to be completed by 8 o'clock. So make sure that you guys are keeping track of time. We will remind you, and make sure that your area is cleaned up by 8. Any remaining milk or drinks that you have need to be poured down the sink rather than put in the trash can. We need to make sure we're hand sanitizing before and after we eat to make sure that we are keeping completely clean. Next, we are going to work on instructional time. Okay, so as we all know, knowledge is power. With that being said, we have to make sure that we can concentrate and we're doing everything we need to do to be safe. So our masks have to stay on the whole time. The only exception is if we are eating or drinking or we have a medical condition that is submitted. Okay, otherwise, mask on the entire time that we are in the building. That goes for staff and students. We have to make sure we stay in our seat so that we are maintaining our distance. If you need to get out of your seat, please make sure that you're raising your hand and notifying us. Make sure you listen and read over your teacher instructions. So if a teacher is giving you directions, make sure you're paying attention, make sure you're reading them, make sure you're looking at everything you need to look at during our instructional time. And then lastly, make sure that you raise your hand to be called upon during the time that your teacher has requested. If there is an open time for questions, that's a great time to ask your questions. Make sure that you're raising your hand so we're not shouting over each other. These are pretty basic rules that we already follow, but we just want to make sure that we're making our instructional time as valuable as possible with the little amount of time that we have.
Now we'll talk about the restroom breaks. You must have permission to use the restroom from your teacher. This way, we can assure that only one student is in the bathroom at the same time. With the restroom being a small condensed space, it is very important that we only have one student in there at a time. You must only use the restroom assigned to the classroom you are in. So for instance, we will be using the boys' bathroom outside of Mr. Egan and Miss Sanzenbacher's room. And the girls will be using the bathroom outside of Mrs. Landrum's and Miss Smith's room. Lastly, wash your hands after using the restroom. Whatever you touch in there, you don't know who else has been in there, and it's very important that we keep our hands clean this year.
At dismissal, teachers will walk students from the classroom to the designated outside dismissal area. The students will go through the front office doors for dismissal, so the main entrance. There will be designated spots to wait for a ride or to pick up a sibling. These designated spots are cones on the outside of the building. They will be sectioned off by grade level. On your way out, don't forget to pick up your lunch if you are an AM student and pick up your breakfast if you are a PM student. After you have left the building, please go straight home. Do not linger. It will create less chaos if we can just get everyone to where they need to go.
Okay, guys, now we're going to talk about transitions. Remember, transitioning just means that you're getting ready to change what you're doing, or you're getting up and getting ready to move from one place to another, whether it's ready to leave for the day or going to a special, whatever that transition may be. Remember, with transitions, You must have your mask on at all times. You should have your mask on at all times anyway, but especially during transitions, and don't take it off. You need to be facing forward. You need to listen to your teachers as you move from one area to the other. Teachers may have important instructions that you need to follow to make sure everybody stays safe. Remember to remain 6 feet apart at all times. And something that will help you do that is the "Please Stand Here" red circles, decals that are on the floor. When you're asked to stop, make sure that you're on one of those "Please Stand Here" red circle decals. You see these throughout the building. They've all been measured out and are exactly 6 feet apart. It's important that you remain in your assigned area or seat until your next transition and your teacher tells you to move. I hope this presentation has helped you with any questions that you may have about reentry and coming back to school. We look forward to seeing all you guys. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. Have a great day.